Hey everybody, welcome to my latest video. Today we are finally going to get around to doing a updated video for putting College Football Revamped for PS3 onto the computer for the PS3 emulator. Let me start out by saying that you are going to need a copy of the game. This is in no way going to show you how to bypass buying the game or having the game to be able to play. So if you're here trying to figure out how to get past buying the game, I'm not going to be able to show you how to do that. YouTube would pull down my video in an instant, and we don't support piracy on the channel. So you'll need a copy of the game. I'm going to show you how to go through all you need to do to set it up to get it going on PC. Later on in a month or so, maybe a little less, hopefully I'll put out a new one updated for the PS3 game system itself to put revamped on. I'm also working on trying to figure out the Xbox 360. I do have a couple. I'm going to look into maybe learning how to mod those for the guys that want that. But today we're going to focus on the PS3 emulator for the PC and using my website to make it as easy as possible. First, I'd like to take a second to tell you guys about my channel membership. I have a few of you guys that have already joined. I appreciate it. This helps support me to, keep doing more and more projects, which I got a bunch of stuff I'm working on. That's why I've been a little quiet on my videos. So I got a ton of stuff in the background. But I got a tier for as low as 99 cents a month, all the way up to $9.99. You can look over some of the perks and everything that come with it. I'm always glad to help anybody, so don't feel like you need to join. This is just a way to help support future work on the channel. With that being said, we're going to go ahead. And the first step you want to do to put the PS3 emulator to play College Football Revamped, you want to go to my website, which is muttgeezer.com. Make sure I use the right keyboard here. I got a 2 PC system going right now, messing around with it. So come to my website. You want to go to my link I have at the top of the website for College Football Revamped. Here's all my tutorials. If you keep scrolling down on this page, you get to the files. Now, I have these files linked to go directly to the College Football Revamped files. And if you want to go there officially, right here's a link to their GitHub. I want to take a minute to thank these guys. This mod is by far the funnest one I've played with in a long, long time. I've been gaming since the first computers came out on the system, or on the scene, so these guys do awesome work. Now we'll go ahead and go through this a little bit so you guys can follow. I've had a lot of people tell me that my older videos with the website aren't working as good, so that's why I'm doing this one. This will probably be my last video for the PS3 emulator, just because I don't think we need to make a bunch, but I want to make the file simpler because a lot of you guys are having trouble understanding them. So what I've linked here, for those of you that need to get something to unzip the files, they are zipped. And I have a link to 7-zip. What I usually like to do is right click, open in a new tab. This is the first thing you want to do if you have no way to unzip files. You'll come here to the very top of the screen and unload or download for your system 64-bit Windows. Click on that and download it and install it. That's really all you need to do with that. Right here I have the version of the emulator I use. You'll want to click on that and download it. It'll be, you just give it a click, start downloading for Google. Windows, I think, does about the same area anymore. I'll come in here. Once it's downloaded, I like to hit the file folder, open it in file, and then I just copy or cut this and paste it. We'll come over here. So we've downloaded the emulator file, so let's go ahead and build a folder. Oops, I accidentally pasted it on the desktop. Let's open a folder here. our new folder. I'm still getting used to Windows 11. It's kind of annoying. I just like to name mine something like PS3 emulator or PS3 College Football Revamped or whatever. Now you want to go ahead and that we have this folder created. This will be where the emulator's at. This is where you'll launch the emulator from and everything as we go along in the video. Slow things down. We got our 7-zip installed. Here's our emulator. Go ahead and unzip the emulator. We want to unzip it, our extract files, to this folder right here. So let's go to our 3 little dots here, go to our desktop, find PS3 EFR folder that we have here, and click OK. Now let's unzip the folders in here. This is our emulator file. We want to go ahead and run the emulator once. So let's click it. Go ahead and put I have read and don't show again if you want to, or you can leave those unchecked. All right, we do not want to upgrade it. So let's go ahead and check a couple things right here while we're in here. The reason we run this right away is it generates more files we need in the emulator. Go ahead and put no to updating. Now go to configuration real quick. What I like to do is come in here and turn off, let's see, I got to remember where it's at. We want to turn off the automatic updates on here. I always have trouble finding it right away. It's in here somewhere on the deal. I'm sure I'm bypassing it a bunch of times. Huh. I'll go ahead and worry about that later. But anyway, I like to shut off automatic update. I know it's in here somewhere. I'm overlooking it, but let's just forget about that for now. You guys will be able to find that and shut it off. Or you can just say no every time you log in. For now, we're going to go ahead and just do a basic setup so we don't have to do it later. So I pretty much leave all this the way it is right now. The GPU, a lot of times you're going to get black screens or something if you don't set the resolution upscaling. So leave this alone. This is a native resolution. You want to take this. You can go all the way up to 4K if you want to. I have a 2070 or a 3060 12 gig in here, so I know I can go ahead and run 4K. Now, if you want to run 1920 by 1080, it's marked clearly right here. It's 150%. We're going to go ahead and run it at 2160. I have a Ryzen 9 5900 in here, so I can run my different threads and stuff. With this graphics card, I leave the second one on. If you have a lower graphics card or a lower CPU, you want to go ahead and run it on legacy single thread. I usually hit the white color buffers, and that's it in here. That's all we really have to do as we're setting up. You can come in and convert to 16-bit for the audio if you want to. You can come in and change the way all this looks, all that good stuff. And of course, shut off the automatic updates so you don't have to worry about accidentally updating your emulator. I don't know why in the hell I can't find that. I know it's in here somewhere. I overlook that every time when I do it on my own computer. So I've done this so many times and helped so many other people. You would think I would know right where it's at, but for the life of me, I cannot remember where that automatic update's at. Right here, check for updates on start. No, so it's under GUI. I knew that it was marked with some type of box. I apologize for the extra time that took, but I think it's important for guys to shut that off because so many of you guys have accidentally updated your emulator and been screwed. So there we have the emulator set up. for now. You can always tweak the settings later. Want to go ahead and set up your gamepad. The X input one is the Xbox controller. I usually move the sticks around to make sure it works, and I hit save. If you have a different one, you can load DualShock, keyboard, whatever you want in here. That's how you set up the controller. You want to do more than one controller that's hooked up, then you would set up the second one with a different control pad. I don't have another one set up right now, so now that we've got that done, let's go ahead and leave that open for a minute. We're gonna leave our file that has the emulator open. We're gonna go back to my website. You can go ahead and get rid of this one. Now we've got the emulator. We've got 7-link if you needed it, the emulator. Now we need to get an operating system or the PS3 update, which is the firmware for the PS3. I have the latest version in here, at least the latest I'm aware of at this time. So I have the last 4 in here for whichever ones you want to run. 490's fine with the way we're doing things, so we'll go ahead and hit that to download it. We'll come in here, download, and then hit the big blue button. This downloads very quickly. It's a small file. You want to go ahead and open our folder again. I usually cut it so I can keep everything where I know where it's at. We're done here. Go ahead and close that. We'll keep this part up so you can keep coming back to the website to get the files you need. Go ahead and paste that. All right, first thing we want to do with that is pull our emulator back open, and we want to drag this in here to put in the firmware, or you can come here, install firmware, and then find it on the desktop wherever you put it at. But it's just as easy to just drag it right in and then let this run. It takes a minute or so. Not even that anymore. Excuse me. Go ahead and let that run. All right, now we've got the emulator firmware loaded. You don't really need to keep this. You can if you want to. I'm going to delete it because I already have another copy of it. So we'll delete that. Now we'll go ahead and close the emulator. Done with that for a minute. Okay. Now we have the next step. And by the way, if you want a different version of the emulator, I do have their official website here. And you can come in here and go to download. Why the stupid ad keeps popping up. And then you can download here, or you can find previous versions right here. And you can find whatever one you want. Now, the one I have is somewhere in the 30s or 40s, but that's why I went ahead and linked it for you guys. So I have a link to the official emulator website, 7-zips linked. All these files go back to the College Football Revamped mod guys for their GitHub. So all these are just links to make it easy for you. Now this is where you would put the game in. We're going to go to our folder. We're going to open the emulator. We're going to go to dev HDD0. Go ahead and we'll go ahead and make these large icons so you can see them a little bit better. So the dev HDD0 is our hard drive. We want to go into disk, and this is where you put a copy of the game at. Now, I know a lot of you guys don't have a copy of the game. Let's see where I kept it on my computer here at. I apologize for that. I got it somewhere on here. there. All right, I'm gonna have to go into my personal emulator and pull it out of there. So this part here is one I run all the time. Oops, wrong one. This is what the file looks like for the game. And this is what the game looks like inside. So you'll need to pull this off. I will link a video right now. I got two different ways I get the game. So if you have the disc, which I have right here, if you have the disc, you can use a soft modded PS3 to pull it off, which I have a video for, which I'll link. And then you can use a Blu-ray burner and a disc dumper on the PC. I have a Blu-ray burner that I bought and I learned how to disc dump, but I have not made a video on it yet. I will be putting one out soon on how to back up your games and use them in the emulator. So keep an eye out for that. But right now we're just going to go ahead and copy that. So we have it. So let's go back one more time. So we know how to do this. We're in the emulator file where we put our emulator. We go to dev HDD0 disk. And this is where we put the game. We'll go ahead and copy that and paste it in here. Right here's your disk file, update, and game file. Now, when you have the update file, you want to make sure it looks right because some of you guys are having problems with this. So it'll be PS3 update, and then this is where the firmware was that we had that we put into the emulator. This is also in here in the game. So if you do not have this file, or if you have it and it doesn't have these second folders in here, you can go ahead and create them yourself. So you would open this, you would come in here. If this was blank, you would make one that says update in capital letters, make a folder, and then in that folder you would put the firmware that you downloaded in here too. So you should have it if you dump the game right, but if you don't and you just have the disk and game file, you can make this folder. Just make sure it's PS3 update, just like this, update, and then put your firmware in here, same one you just used. So now we have the game in. We want to go ahead and close our, or go back to the main base of our emulator and run it. We're going to go ahead and run the emulator. Close this file. We don't need open right now. And now we have the game in here. But for some reason, it already says College Football Revamped. It shouldn't. It should just be a regular copy of the game. So I must have, or I know why it does. It's because we directly copied it from my game. Normally, you'll just have the NCAA Football 14 icon. So it'll update. But being we copied it the other way, which, sorry I didn't have a regular copy on here. I have it on my other computer, but I'm doing a bunch of different stuff with my computers right now. And all my games backups are on my other computer. So normally this would be the NCAA 14. Hopefully that's not confusing. Well, we have one more step to go. I know this video is getting a little longer, but this part's pretty important too. So what you want to do here is go ahead and find the version that you want of the game. I have them all linked separately, so you don't have to go through their website to find it, but you can right here if you want to. This just shows it down. So if you want the PS3 icons in the game, like when you have the triangle and the square and all that in the game, or if you want to have the Xbox icons, you use these ones. So I personally use the Xbox ones, and these will show up in the game even though it's a PS3 game. And then they have different scoreboards. You can have an old scoreboard, new scoreboard. You can get on their Discord, which I recommend you get on the Discord and sponsor their Discord anyway. It's like $9 a month and you get 2 free server boosters. That's what I use mine for, is for those guys there to help, give them something for all their work. But you go here, with the emulator, you can use the scoreboard, new scoreboard. Some people have problems with the old scoreboard on the PS3, which I'm not going to get into here, but we do have those files down here for people wanting to run it on the PS3, and I have a video for that up here. This video right here will help you put it on the PS3. Granted, it wasn't using with this website, but okay. Now you have two different versions of the game You have the disc version, which has the disc. You actually have the disc, or you burn a copy of the disc on your PS3 or the Blu-ray dumper, or you have the digital version, which you bought from EA when you bought it originally on your PS3. I have both versions of the game. I've done it both ways. This way is covering the disc version. The PS3 digital version is just a little bit different, but not much. Basically, you just have to do one more step. So I'll make a video on how to do the digital version too once I get a chance, I promise. So we're going to go with the new scoreboard and the disc version of the game. We'll go ahead and download that. Don't click on this stupid shit. I don't know why they have to have that pop up, but I'm going to go ahead and enable turbo downloading and let that rip. This is a pretty big file, so it takes 10 minutes sometimes longer. So we're going to go ahead and go in here. I'm going to show you. We're going to open up the tab for their official site for the College Football Revamped mod. I usually just come over here and click the easy install and get to refresh the page. So we'll come down here. We're on version 21 for this video. There's all the different file updates and stuff. We'll come down here and give you patch notes on what they fixed with each one. You got what's in each release here, future releases. So this has a ton of information. Now, if you would want to get that file by going through their site instead of mine, which is linked to theirs, you would come in here and hit PC. Same thing, disc or digital, like I told you a little bit ago. We're disc. We are new scoreboard. We are Xbox controller. And this is what the game file and stuff would look like. And this is where you would download the file we're downloading from my site. So instead of going through all those steps, I have it so you click one button and it gets you right here to this file. So that's the reason I did that, because some of you guys are having confusion with that. So we got this downloading. It's downloading really fast, actually. I'm going to go ahead and let that download. I already have a copy on the computer. So, like I said, normally we would have the NCAA 14 icon in here. Once you download that version of the mod you want, this mod file is the one we're downloading right here. It's already pretty much downloaded. That's one we just went through the downloading on. I'm just being very, very thorough on telling you what everything is. I know the video is going to be a little longer, but this way it leaves no doubt on what you're doing. So you would take this file here. Once you download it, now let's say you downloaded it and you don't have a file. I already have this folder saved, so let's say you just save it to the desktop like we did with everything else. Actually, that's what I did to get this folder. I downloaded everything on this new computer, and then I made the revamp files, put everything in there so I would have them if I want them again. So we'll go ahead and do it the way you guys would normally do it. Now this one's downloaded, so we'll go to our folder, we'll cut and paste like we did everything else. And now we have all these files. Just ignore that I brought that over there. So this is everything we needed. So I will do a recap in a minute too, but imagine this the NCAA 14 icon, because we didn't copy the game over from our other emulator, so we wouldn't have the revamped. So we're going to take this and drag it in here. And this will update it to the latest version of College Football Revamped. And then when this would be done running, it would change this icon to College Football Revamped like it looks here from the NCAA 14 one. Let's go ahead and do that and let it run. This takes several minutes to update, and it doesn't hurt to update over one or another. It just, so far, I have never even lost a save or anything when I've updated. We're going to go ahead and let this run. We're going to post this video as an unedited version of the video, just so you guys can see exactly what I did, all the confusing shit I did and everything. I don't know why. Some of the times, I've done this so many times, I got to remember sometimes to take it down a little bit. And a lot of you guys are having problems actually getting the game itself, and you try downloading online and everything, and then you're having all kinds of problems. It really is worth it just to go whatever and buy it. I actually found this copy of it, which works perfectly fine, for like 45 bucks in Omaha. Some guy had it for sale. I went and bought it. I've had it for several months now. I had an unwrapped version of it that I gave away on my channel, sent to a young kid down in New Orleans, and I have the digital version. I even found the Xbox version with an Xbox 360 and the game for 80 bucks in Omaha. So there's deals to be had out there. Price is coming down because people know the new game's coming out. So now's the best time of any to go ahead and get it, you know. I'd just go ahead and bite the bullet and buy it and save yourself a lot of headache. Now this would come back on, it will flash, and then boom, this would be College Football Revamped. So we already have it. I wish I would have done it the other way to show you exactly what that looked like, buddy. Enough of you guys that follow my videos, you realize that I tell you pretty clearly what's going on. So all we would have to do now, you can go in and create custom configurations, which I do recommend doing. You won't really change much because we already kind of went through everything, but the one important thing you want to do here is go to advanced and set this driver wake up delay to 200. Really all I do with the advanced settings. There's so much more you can do that other people do that I don't even mess with, and I have had no problems with my emulator at all. Sometimes I'll come in here and set the different modes, like, let's see, where is that at? Well, you can turn it to dark or whatever. Maybe that's under IU. Or, you know what? I'm having a tough time remembering where some of this stuff's at. I'm getting old or something. Maybe it's not in the advanced settings. That's why, dumbass. Anyway, hit the advanced settings. And then whenever you load the game, you want to click and hit boot with custom configuration to give you that extra little bit of settings there. Go in here real quick. There it is right here. It is just in the regular settings. I usually set mine to envy or something. Hit apply. Boom. Then you get the darker one. I don't know. I just like the darker one for some reason. So we'll save that. Now this is where we'll test the game and just boot it. The music's probably going to get loud for a second. Boot it with custom configurations. Should pop up. And then it'll take a while to actually load the first time, so don't be alarmed by that. It'll take a few minutes. We're going to go ahead and run this through full speed without any edits or anything, and just let you guys see how I do it. So it'll take another 5 minutes or so, and we'll end the video. I really appreciate all the support you guys are giving me on the channel. We're getting close to 5,000 subs. I've interacted with a lot of you guys. I'm sorry I'm not on Discord as much because I've had so many people come in there, and probably 80%, 90% of people are great, but there's 10% of trolls and everything that just waste my time, and I don't have a lot of time between work and everything to get a lot of stuff done, so I'll try to be helping more. Good way to get a hold of me is to get a hold of me through YouTube. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to use Discord because, like I said, it's kind of full of troll boys in there. and I've been trying to keep it cleaned out. And I haven't been in there for like a month because I just can't stand to deal with those guys. But I'm going to figure out a way to make it more so you great guys that I met have a better chance getting a hold of me. All right, we have our controller, and looks like it's running nice and smooth. We know that's the latest version of the game. Come in here, got our start, got our controllers working. We'll go pick our Iowa Hawkeyes. Well, that moved fast. This thing is real responsive. All right, so a little bonus feature I'm going to give you guys here in a second. Go ahead and back out of here. Let's exit out of here real quick. Now on the website, I have a link to these other ones here. Fang's Recruit Overhaul is one that you got to be at least familiar with Excel and have an Excel account or whatever to use. So not going to get into that one today, but the patch for Gator sliders for you guys that want to challenge and to have good sliders and everything for the game, it's right here, and it's super simple for the PC. So you would hit here to download it, just like the rest of the stuff. I already have a folder of it downloaded, so what we want to do, the zip will come out looking like this when you download it. It's the patch file here. These. So it'll look like this. This is what the files are in there look like. So what you want to do, go ahead and open all this up until you get to here. Now here's instructions if you need it, but for PC and the emulator, it's super easy. You just want to right click and copy this. And go ahead and close that out. We're done with that already. So then you want to go into your emulator to dev HDD0 home, then this button on here, and then you want to go to save data, and this is a copy of your like franchises and everything. This is also where you find your saves at, and you want to paste this in here, and that's literally it. That is Gator's slider package and everything. Now you don't want to modify stuff in the game after you put that in there. I mean, like you can like say times for the quarters and stuff like that, but you do not want to see how much faster this loads once you've done it once. You don't want to change like the basic settings like control, or I mean, I'm trying to think think of a good example. If you change the settings for the sliders, it'll basically ruin the sliders. So, and here's how you know you got it, because you'll have the Florida Gator here now for your sliders. So you can read the instructions and everything to see what all that implies, but once you use the sliders here, you'll have a challenge. So this is how you know you did the sliders right. So that's a little extra bonus for the video, is the Sea Gator sliders. I kind of been rambling a little bit. This is a good way to use my website to put the game in. We've covered every step. Here's the recap, and then we're out of here. You need 7-zips right here. Here's the versions, or here's the version of the emulator I use. I don't use any other version for College Football Revamped. I use a different one for like the basketball mod, for NCAA Basketball 10 mod. I haven't used a modern one or the updated one for quite a while. Here's all the firmware files that I have linked. 4.87 through the newest 4.90. Here's the RPCS3 official website, so you can get whatever version you want. Here's extra stuff I use, like the Dynasty tool, which I'll be making a new video on that. Here's where you get the newest roster. The roster comes with the file as far as I know. If not, you can get it here by going to Operation Sports. I have a video for that on MuttGeezer 2 on how to do that. I will try to remember to link that here. This will come down here. RPCS3 files right here. Looks like it's older, so the one with the game is newer anyway. So want to do that. So here's your versions of the game with the PS3 icons or Xbox icons. This is, I explained earlier in the video. Here's the official GitHub site for College Football Revamped mod. I recommend you guys go there and give them support. My Discord and everything is linked on my YouTube channel. So if you need help, go there. There's people there that'll help you. I'll try to check that more often, but keep your eyes open for an easier way to get a hold of me. I'll be coming up with a new way. You can get a hold of me through the website. I try to answer these. It'll actually email me and try to get back to them. I got a lot of you guys I haven't been able to get back to, but I was working on trying to do this video, and I was hoping this would answer most of your questions. So I appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate all the support. Remember, if you want, I'd be appreciative if you join my YouTube members for as little as 99 cents a month. That really helped me get the revenue up so I can do more videos. I got videos coming out. I'm going to make an emulation computer. Going to do a bunch more emulation stuff. I'm going to make more content, gaming videos and stuff. So appreciate everything. We'll catch you guys on the next one.